Okay, let's take a peek at what's going on right now. What is it that the collective needs to know right now at this precise moment in time? So whenever you watch this reading, if there's any messages in there for you that sounds pretty much like what you're resonating with at that time, then there could be something in there for you. If not, don't worry about it. Just get this sense of less filter, more uncomfortable truths, no more accepting what is, but rather let's just kind of see it for what it always was, but it's just that we wasn't paying attention, or we wasn't really looking at it from that perspective until now. Okay. There's something about the way how there's seeing things much more clearer now than before, even as recent as yesterday. And it's making you become even more resilient to BS, to deception, to coercion, manipulation of all kinds, because it's insulting your divine intelligence. So let's see what we have. Take what resonates. This is timeless, general. Let's go. So we have got the Judgment card in the reverse. In the reverse. Interesting. Next card up we have got is the Three of Swords upright. Next card that follows the Three of Swords upright is the Star card upright. Next card that comes up is the King of Cups upright. We've got the Two of Pentacles in the reverse. We then have the Chariot card underneath the bottom of the deck. So this is interesting because with this Judgment card being in the reverse, there's something about the way how it's almost as if with this Three of Swords, it was really getting in the way, like getting into the heart space. It really feels as if this was like before. And then this is like this intervention, this like, and then this is where you're at right now. And despite the feeling of uncomfortability here, it's better that you were to see it for what it was, for what it is, than what you thought it was from before. It's almost as if to say, oh, there was nothing to see here. Really feels as if this Three of Swords was the frequency fence to prevent this from really coming through, because of so much things that was going on in the heart space. But now, where there's this feeling of like this, because the Star card has the clear skies, you can see things now more better. I'm really getting acid rain with this. I'm really getting this feeling of like this betrayal card, like nothing to see here, just don't worry about it. But what's on the other side? Nothing. Just nothing. Right? However, with the Star card, it was all about sort of, it's almost like, like when you get like so much smoke in your eyes. Because I was thinking about you're having, like, you've got the eyes to see now much more clearly. So when you get smoke in your eyes and you get something in your eyes, you rinse them out with water so that it helps to sort of like heal your, you can still sort of start to see things more clearly than you did before. And there's something about the way how taking this sting out of a situation is leaving it now really like you've really seen this for what this is. I feel that with regards to the Judgment card being in the reverse, despite it being in the reverse, it's given me an inversion here. Because it felt at the time that it was almost like a conspiracy. It's nothing really to worry about. It's not really an awakening as such. It's just like, according to what this energy is saying, it's nothing to see here. It's all false. It's all nonsense, right? Let's expand on this and see exactly why this Three of Swords is where it is. Because you're seeing things now so different, like you just don't even have the time. This was a lot of filtering that was going on. And this is the only card where this is taking place. Everything else is clear. Even the Chariot card, you don't see no clouds, nothing clouding. So what's going on with this? Just gonna do another. Okay, so with the Judgment card in the reverse, we have got the Magician in the reverse. So there's a lot of dark happenings, shall we say, a lot of manipulation, a lot of dark magic, if you like. This Magician is one that holds, yes, they are powerful, but they are choosing to use their sacred gifts for ill intentions. Very nefarious, dark energy. And unbeknownst to you at that time, these two forces were, opposing forces were going head to head, toe to toe with each other. But you weren't able to see at the time because, the vision was clouded. And also this was affecting your ability to really go into your heart space, to resonate with what this energy is. So with the Three of Swords in the upright position, what we have for that particular card is a Three of Pentacles. There's a third party interference. Third party here. Now this air sign energy is also to do with thoughts. The heart being emotions and all of this rain, like bits and pieces of scattered energy around. But it was the thought process that was being affected by this third party energy here, very earthbound, hidden below ground, because it's, dark. You don't really see any, blue skies around. So that, to me, I'm really getting this feeling, and especially when it's right next to the Magician card, get this feeling of this dark, covert operation between certain parties that were preventing this from taking place, preventing you from really finding out. Now, before we go any further, just apply this situation with the reading, like, to whatever situation that you're in. Whether this is something very personal to you, and there's other people that you thought were on your side, that you thought that you could work things out with. I thought we were all getting on really great. But what it is that they were doing behind your back, because you're here in this energy now, is that you weren't able to really see or really were included with regards to any sort of plans, anything that they were really working against. I'm really getting a lot of co-conspiring here. Third party interference. The next card that we've got with the Star card in the upright position is the Seven of Pentacles in the reverse. To me, this represents the feeling of no more waiting around. You may have been, like when they say, you have to be patient, wait for this, wait for that. But the thing is, how long is it going to take you to be waiting in a situation, or waiting for some answers, waiting for a reply, waiting for a sign to really come through, when there's a lot of interference here? But this star card is indicating that that time's over. There's no more waiting now. You can, you can really see it now more clearly. Your take on this with the King of Cups in the upright position, because I really, by the looks of this king, I'm not really impressed. And we do have the Tower card in the reverse. This feeling of a diversion here. You were diverted away from, to be honest, it feels like imminent danger. I'm not putting the frightness on anybody. I'm just saying from what I'm seeing here, you were literally, it's almost as if like at the last minute, you were literally saved by this star energy. This can be either someone putting you in like the firing line, if this was a situation at work where you were about to be fired, but you caught wind of a situation and it was like, really, well, let me resign. Rather, it's better to resign than to be fired. You know, there's this feeling of like, wow, I see you now. I see, the effects of what's being felt right now. And that came from you, or wow. So there's a feeling of right now, this uncomfortability, this like, because the thing is, to me, it feels as if like, it's like ripping off the Band-Aid. And now having to readjust yourself now. So with the Two of Pentacles being in the reverse, we have got the Queen of Swords in the reverse. So there's this feeling right now of, again, needing to gain clarity and insight. And it's also about trying to balance the heart and the mind now together, because where it's coming from yourself now, there's no more third-party interference. There's no more doubts that's going to be coming in to cloud your better judgment. They were really working on your judgment being messed up, so that you would be really more in your emotions, in your feelings of like being really sad. Could have been, like, I've got to say, it could have been certain people that were driving you to drink, certain energies, certain spirits, monitoring spirits, or some nasty, nefarious activities were trying to put you in a situation that it would have been detrimental for you to really get out of. Okay? But I feel that with this, like, you knew it was coming, like it was what was to be expected. Okay, I see where you're at now, I see this. And the Chariot card, for me, feels as if the universe is just pushing you away, pushing you along, so that this situation doesn't occur. Like, they're not going to be successful. The card underneath the bottom of the deck, we've got the Ace of Cups. This Ace of Cups in the reverse is something, this water, or this liquid, is not good for you. Somebody could have been trying to do something, and as I said, it just really feels really like, wow, nefarious energies, nefarious activities. You're trying to poison your emotions. Now, this can be, as I said, it can be a belief system that they were putting towards you, for you not to wake up and see what the hell's really going on. They were really hoping, because if you notice the way how you got a cup here, and you've also got a King of Cups here, but you've got two cups here with this Star card. That's kind of like poured out this energy, and things are changing now. Okay? We've got even the Magician has a cup in the reverse. So maybe now where your cup is cleansed, now you're able to see what's really going on, and how this person or these people really done you. I'm hearing about being obliged. Being obliged to. Something about this feeling of like obligation. This could have even been something that you were trying to invest in, because the Seven of Pentacles represents some form of investment, something that you kind of thought, you know, something, this could be something worthwhile investing in. This could give me a healthy return. I could get somewhere with this, you know. I am feeling, let me just get, I just need to kind of get a couple of cards. I'm kind of feeling from these two cards in particular. I also want to pull from here, and I am getting a feeling of here, but let's go with this first. Just two cards each. So the first card that wants to come through is the Eight of Cups in the reverse. It's almost as if that you wouldn't have been able, they didn't want you to really move on. It's like they didn't want you to walk away from something. If they held you in place, where are you going? Right? The next card that we've got that wants to speak. I don't really want to look at the cards. I want to feel them out. Now, it's interesting. This card wants to come out too. So there was a feeling of trying to put chaos or some kind of interference with your coins, with your abundance, with your, you know, something new that you were trying to put for yourself. Now, this can even be, you know, you trying to reach your Ten of Pentacles. You've got the Seven and the Three of Pentacles right there. But there was something about really trying to mess that up so that you wouldn't be able to walk away from a deal. And then they would have had you captured in that mess. What is it that the Judgment card was trying to tell you? They were trying to mess around with your destiny, changing your destiny. But the Wheel of Fortune, thank goodness, was in the upright position. It was as if it needed you to wake up and see your fortune is being messed about with. But look at that, it's in the upright position. So whatever they tried to do, because this card here is helping you to see, you know, wow, this is really what they did. They tried to. They were trying to turn things around in their favor so that you'd be out of favor for yourself. Let me pull a card from for the Magician. Well, I'll do these three cards first. The Three of Pentacles. Really getting a lot of culprit energy. So first up, we have got the Four of Wands in the reverse. So to destabilize you, to really and truly ensure that your security is buggered. The next card that we've got is the High Priestess in the upright position. So they were keeping secrets, keeping you, like, with you not even seeing what the hell's going on. And you know, it's interesting, these three up here reminds me of the Three of Pentacles. But because it's behind a veil, remember the veil, the Three of Swords is covering up what the hell was really going on. And I feel that if you were dealing with a work situation or whatever, or some kind of whatever this can even be friends, family, you know, those dynamics. Something just really wasn't right. Another card that wants to come through for the Three of Pentacles just feels like there was just a lot of things that were going on behind your back that you were really and truly unaware of. And we've got the Two of Swords in the reverse. So they really were trying desperately to ensure, and if you add the Queen of Swords together, these three swords would have created these the three swords there, so that you would not have been able to use discernment. If you're somebody again that has a lot of compassion and love, you're a very loving person, they took advantage of that. And can I get for the Magician card, please? This manipulation. Oops, we've got the Four of Swords. Now you see how the way that card just flipped across. So they were really trying to do things to your thought process, for you to, affecting your thinking ability. These people just really and truly were trying to disturb your inner peace. And it could be for, because jealousy, because they wanted to. You're not to have abundance. You're not to have success. You're not even allowed to own your own home. You're not allowed to have anything, according to what these people think. Right? I'm not saying it because I'm going by what this energy is telling me. The next card this magician was trying to do, trying to keep you in poverty. They didn't want you to have sweet FA. If this was upright like this, how are you going to get anywhere? They wanted to keep you broke and in a chokehold of fear, separated from this awakening that was going on. Now, this awakening could even be somebody that was trying to get through to you, not so much as a spiritual being from the universe, but more somebody could be like that is dealing with like a legal situation, could have been trying to get through to you. And then the next card that this manipulator was trying to do, there you go, create serious dramas so that you would never, you'd be so preoccupied with stress and end up like, feeling really bitter and in hate. And if you were somebody that was, trying to drown out your sorrows, trying to, sort of like numb the pain, it would be like touching on substances. So you'd have like some kind of abuse, they really wanted to run you into the ground so that you would never be able to, get off from a flying start. But thank goodness that the Star card and the Chariot card were there to really kind of, you had your guardians around you. You had your protectors around you, put it that way. You really did. And the energy that I'm feeling right now, it really, it's disappointing. It really is freaking disappointing. But I'm also getting a surprise, but not really surprised. Because I feel that somewhere along the line, you kind of knew how these people stayed, but they weren't like that with you, but you may have seen it, how they stayed with other people, but there's some kind of way how you looked upon them as either family, or they wouldn't do that to me. They couldn't. These people are ruthless. Given half a chance, they'd even do it to God. Right, so let's see what we have got with some cards from the Luminous Pathways Oracle. Card that comes up now we've got is the Wise Owl, wisdom, knowledge and perspective. You know better now, and I feel that this is you catching wisdom now, catching wind of things. You're now in a position, you're still in the game now of where you can safely look at your options now and know how to deal with this, know how to take care of this in your own way. Not when I say in your own way, I don't mean to say that you're going to do something to the extreme, but within reason, within, a legal framework that is still going to be able to give you wise counsel. Okay? Not you just going ape shit. We have got the zodiac circle, so astrological influences and guidance. Okay? Guidance being the big word, the big key word here. I'm hearing Uranus and Mars for this zodiac circle. So if Uranus and Mars means anything to you, then, you know, do check that out. This can be in your own natal chart, or this can be if you are somebody that really wants to step in with astrology. You know, looking at ways on how and when to, you know, deal with this, then, you know, you can sort of work it from there, or get advice from some kind of astrologer that can trace back exactly what was going on, if that's how, you know, you need to deal with this situation in order to gain more wisdom and gain a better perspective. The next card that we've got is the harmonic scale, so balance, harmony, music of life. So I'm really getting a lot of now this feeling of, you know, the more that you know, the more that you're going to grow now. And I feel that this is really going to be now the start now for you to gain, rebalance in your life, because this was such a disruptive force, you know, from these individuals. And sometimes when you get certain people that kind of see you in a kind of light, see you in a kind of way, and that can see that, yeah, without interference, you can manage yourself really well. You can, you know, you can kind of do things. And because of that, they feel that they need to come in now with either competition or with some kind of infiltration, or using some kind of label against you, or the connection that they have with you. They're going to use that against you. Oh, but you're my sister. Oh, but you're my brother. Oh, but we're family. So because we're family, you have to include us in your plans. Really? Who told you that? What archaic nonsense is that all about? Do you know what I mean? Because in this day and age, things are a whole lot different than they were a few years back. The next card that we've got is the Stone Circle, sacred space, ancient wisdom, and grounding. I feel that this is where you're at right now with regards to owning your own sacred space, obtaining even more ancient wisdom from within yourself, because you've got that space and time to reflect more on where you're going now. And I really do feel you've got that spiritual guidance from above. And sometimes too many cards that have dropped. Last card. And we've got the winter solstice. Reflection, pause, and rebirth. And I feel that this is where you're at right now. Just really taking that moment, following the information, following the knowledge now that you would have accumulated from this situation. You're going to need to have your space in time to reflect on everything that's happened, no matter how uncomfortable it's going to make you feel, no matter how raw this uncomfortable truth is. But it's better to let the wound heal than to continue to cover it up with, you know, like an old sort of bandage around it, and just thinking, oh, it'll be all right. Because, you know, sometimes the wounds need to heal without these bandages on. Just rip the band-aid off and just let it heal. Let it just, you know, let it be seen, let it be felt, let it be experienced. And then you can sort of step back in now into alignment with yourself. Underneath the bottom of the deck, we have got the rainbow bridge. So there's a connection, there's hope, and there's a promise. And I feel that once you reconnect back within yourself, then the hope starts to fill back up, get this healing energy as well. And a promise to yourself, never, ever, ever to allow this situation to happen to you again. Never, ever allow certain people, no matter how nice they appear to be, due diligence is necessary. It's the only way that's going to save you from more further heartache and less stress on your senses. And, you know, if it's a financial thing, then it keeps that money in your pocket. So guys, this is the energy that I've got. This is the message that I've got for this reading. Hopefully this is, something that's going to align with you, give some kind of insight. Thank you so much for watching. Take care. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And I will see you guys in the next reading. Take care.